The crisis in emerging markets continues. The fallout persists as countries all over the world see inflation pick up, their currency drop, and contagion spreads throughout. The US markets have been supported with generous donations from central bank intervention, causing the longest bull market in history. The question is, can FANG stocks remain afloat with everything around sinking like a stone? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we are going to look at emerging markets. We're going to touch on Turkey, Argentina, India, South Africa, and so much more. Let's begin with this article out of CNBC. Turkish lira sinks after reports that a key central bank member could resign. Is that the reason? Or is this really a whole bunch of events that have been occurring along the way? Look at the chart. I've been covering this now for quite some time throughout 2018, and you can see that this weakness has prevailed. We are seeing it getting close to that 7 mark, 7 to the US dollar, and this really shows us how it has really unfortunately been weakened over this period of time. Many people thought that this couldn't happen, but here we are. It is being devalued versus the US dollar. So you have to think to yourself, is it devalued or is the US dollar getting stronger? Is it both? Perhaps we'll have to see as time goes on, but we can see that this is not the only currency which has been weak this year. Argentina's currency crashes to an all-time low as it asks the IMF for emergency funds. So here we had the IMF giving Argentina a whopping record $50 billion, their biggest bailout ever. And now Argentina is saying, please hurry, give us the money now. We need money right now. And so we'll see how they deal with that. Investors are increasingly concerned Latin America's third largest economy could soon default as it struggles to repay heavy government borrowing. They owe a lot, they've got some serious problems, and they need this money right now. The peso is down more than 45% against the greenback this year, exacerbating pre-existing fears over the country's weakening economy, and inflation's running at, believe it or not, 25.4%. And we can see that this is obviously going to put a heavy burden onto individuals. Imagine your currency in less than 1 year is slashed in half practically. The value slashed in half. What's that going to do to businesses around you? 25% inflation. What's that going to do to the things you need to buy at the store? There are some people who suggest that this isn't really an issue. There's a lot going on here that people really aren't paying attention to, but it is a fact. You need to be looking into the effects of this and, of course, the ripple effect, because it's not necessarily direct. It might occur over a longer period of time. All right, so let's move on right here to some other data. This right here is basically just a chart showing you how the president came in, promised very big things, and so far has been unable to deliver because the situation has been getting worse. That's essentially what this article talks about here out of Bloomberg. And then we have this. Argentina's currency itself, I said it would dip below the 30 mark, and obviously didn't take a genius to figure that one out. It has been declining significantly over this period of time. We can look at it, over the last few days. You can look at it over the last few years, but it just is ultimately very weak. Now I'm seeing this right here. Looking at the national inflation, one article says 25%. This one, year over year inflation, looks like it's 31%. I don't know where it is exactly, but I could tell you right now, it is terrible for individuals to be dealing with this at this moment, okay? Because they cannot handle it. It's very, very bad for them as an individual. You're going shopping, you're opening a business, you're dealing with all of this. Not good at all, okay? Then you have this over the past few years, it was declining, okay? The currency versus the US dollar was declining. However, it's a slow and steady decline, and now, ever since 2018, it has just been falling off the cliff. It is terrible what you can see right here, all right? And then there's Century Bond. I don't even know why anybody would have bought this. I mean, a 100-year bond from a country that regularly defaults is not a good thing. So this is where we are at right now today. The value of this has just been declining and decreasing. And certainly we'll have to see where it goes. I don't think it'll have much value eventually. This is the spot returns best and worst of the year, but it looks like everything is basically in the negative against the US dollar. Argentina's peso down, as well as Turkey, over 40% this year. Brazil is down 20%, Russian ruble down 15%, South African rand 14%, and India's rupee is down almost 10%. Okay, so I have people from India asking all the time, I need to find out some information about India, do a video about India. So I did one, I included some information, I think it was yesterday, and now again today, showing you the currency. Look, people are asking, why is India's stock market going so high? It's so strong. Everything is just fine. But India's rupee falls to an all-time low. And you need to understand what's going on here. There is a devaluation of the currency, and nominally the stock market has been rising. You need to understand that. That's really what we are seeing. Now, if you take the most extreme example globally right now, Venezuela's currency has been just basically collapsed, and the stock market has been rising higher because you're pricing it in that currency. So of course, if the currency is weak, that's going to make the asset prices higher. But nominally, is it in real terms? That's the question. There are many factors here at play, definitely. However, I think that it's important to look at this for what it is. Looking at the last one right here is South Africa's currency. Now, South Africa has been, again, with all of the other emerging market currencies, declining quite a bit. And this is because of all the turmoil they've been experiencing. I don't think this is really going to let up anytime soon. So you can expect that the currency will fall as well. I'm going to end it there. I hope you found it informative. I tried to bring this to you super fast. So then if you found it informative and you like this, please give me a thumbs up. That's how you support the channel, just by hitting that thumbs up button. You can also subscribe. We're heading towards 150,000 subscribers here. Okay, we're going to shoot for that number this year. So definitely you want to hit that button. Join me on here, one of the fastest growing financial channels on YouTube. So check me out. I post every single day, so that's a lot of people are just all over the world joining in here, and I really appreciate all those people coming in for the first time. Wanted to say hello to all of you. And if you want the financial education that was not taught to you in schools, these two books have it all. You can see the links in the description below. You're going to get everything that you need to know about the financial system and how it all works. If you're more interested in the audiobook version, you can get that at themoneygps.com. Immediately after recording this video, I just found this new piece of information. Argentina's central bank hikes rates to 60% as the currency collapses. So I'm showing you as this is progressing through. Many people will say that this couldn't possibly happen, and yet here we are. The central bank hiking rates to 60% shows you how bad the situation is. The central bank is reacting. They're dealing with it, or at least they're trying to in their own way. They've been trying to use their reserves. They've been increasing rates, and that's basically all a central bank is. So we have the IMF coming in with the biggest bailout in history. We have them using all their reserves. We have them increasing interest rates to a ridiculous and astronomical 60%. Where does this end? Well, potentially could result in some very similar activities to what we saw in Greece, where they have to sell off their assets. You can better believe that there is going to be some interesting arrivals that come into play here as we see them negotiating with different countries. Different businesses are going to come in and say, hey, we'll help you out. Don't worry about it. We just want some of this or that. And I believe that this could very well happen. So I'm going to end it there. I just wanted to add that in if you stayed into the end of this video to make sure that you know exactly what's going on. I didn't want to let this go because I think it is very important. We saw them increasing to 20, to 30, to 40, and now 60%. And unfortunately, I think this could end up very, very bad. A lot of people wouldn't even realize it, like in Greece, but they're selling off the assets, and that's not good. That is never good. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Take care.